Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are finally, and I mean that, finally going to be testing the Makeup by Mario foundation. This is called the Surreal Skin Foundation. And honestly, I do not know how this is going to go today because half of the reviews and half of the things I've heard about this have been really positive and the other half have been really negative. In fact, I know a couple of pro makeup artists here in Australia who swear this is the worst foundation that they've ever tried. Now, Makeup by Mario, if you were to ask me the one celebrity makeup artist that I would want to do my makeup, it is honestly him. Like, I just think he is one of the most incredible, talented, creative, like his work is just flawless and perfect and incredible. So a foundation made by him makes me feel very excited. Now, formula-wise, here we go. So it comes in 30 different shades. It's meant to give you a natural, luminous finish, buildable for customizable coverage, breathable and weightless skin-like feel, hydrates and grips the skin. Apparently it's got something in this called moisture grip technology, which actually makes the formulation stick onto the skin, hold onto the skin, I guess stop it from transferring. And it's also a long wearing formula that will not oxidize. Now, the first thing that I found really interesting when I opened up this foundation is all through the bottle, it's probably a little bit tricky to see, there's these like little veins of like what looks like a silvery metallic kind of a pigment. It looks marbled with like silver all through it. I've never seen a foundation do that. Surreal Skin Foundation is my complexion masterpiece. I put my heart into this groundbreaking formula with the hope of not creating a barrier foundation, but rather awakening the true infinite beauty that lies within. Now, he also does have a foundation brush that he sells on his website as part of this. I quite like this double-ended brush actually. But these are like quite loosely packed bristles. It's definitely not a dense stippling brush, so you must be able to like really work the formula into the skin. Now, I've got the shade 15N here to try, and this one does actually look very accurate to my skin tone. The packaging itself is really beautiful. It comes in this really heavy glass bottle. It feels very luxe. We've got a little white cap that comes off and then a silver pump applicator. Let's see what the formula's like. Oh yeah, it's sort of like a medium consistency. It's not too thick and it's not too runny. I'm going to try applying this. So I'm just using tapping motions and sort of working that one into the skin. Can I just say, it does look really, really pretty. It's definitely glowy and it is actually, like based on everything I sort of read, I thought it would be like a lower coverage product, but it's actually got pretty damn good coverage to it. And the shade match is actually pretty good as well. Interestingly, like there's probably enough on this brush to do half of my forehead. Have hardly used any of that product that's on the back of my hand. Oh, that is really, really nice on the skin. Definitely a medium coverage, but just look at that glow. It's so flattering, and I feel like it's giving me that glow, but without making my skin, like without emphasizing the texture or making my pores more visible. So here is my skin without the foundation, and then here is my skin with it. I ain't mad. Just to try something different, I'm going to try using one of our Pro Perfecting sponges to blend it in on this side of the face, just to see if we get like a different level of coverage or sort of the finish. I typically am usually a sponge girly when it comes to foundation. Just with having super textured skin, I do usually find that it just, you know, it minimizes the pores, it minimizes the texture, it makes things overall look a lot better, and it's usually pretty quick to apply that way too. Oh, yeah, I feel like it may even be glowier when you apply it with a brush. So just have a look at my cheek here. That's it applied with a sponge, and then the other side applied with a brush. I don't know if I'm, like, it is really, really, really reflective, really, really glowy. I'm not sure if I'm imagining that, but it seems, I actually think that I prefer this one with a brush, and that does not happen very often. All right, so I've got it applied on both sides of my face now, and I still have, honestly, a fair bit of product left over on the back of my hand. Very, very, very glowy. It is, I would say, a very flattering level of coverage. I do have a couple of breakouts, just for interest's sake. Let's take the excess and see if we can't build up that coverage to sort of cancel that redness. Yeah, it's a buildable formula. It's building up really nicely, actually. I honestly think that this looks beautiful. And I definitely have to say the level of glow, extreme. Like, in a pretty way, though. I don't mean extreme in a bad way, but I actually think it's very flattering. I normally don't like glowy foundations like this. Like, normally they just really emphasize my texture. But I feel like this is somehow glowy, and it's got something to do with the fact that it's got all of this metallic stuff in it. Maybe it sort of reminds me of the MAC Studio Radiance foundation. Like that one's meant to have pigments in it to reflect light in a similar way. So far I think that this is really pretty. Let's zoom in, and here is my skin up close. What do you think? Are you loving how this is looking? Are you hating how this is looking? Leave us a comment down below. Let me know. I honestly think it's so pretty. It's so glowy. It's like my face almost looks wet. It's that glowy. It's definitely still a little tacky and sticky. Me as an oily skin type, like I'm definitely gonna have to powder this one down. But yeah, very pretty. Like if you love a glowy formula, I have a feeling you might love this. So yeah, that's where we are at. I will quickly do the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. All right, so here is my skin with the rest of my makeup on now. I've got to be honest, I don't love it as much now that it's powdered down, and that is actually quite interesting for me because normally when I use my setting powder, I'm like, yes, and it just like fixes everything and melts everything together. I just feel like this formula doesn't look as nice when it's powdered down. Now, obviously, I'm an oily skin type, but I know that there are lots of you who are watching who aren't an oily skin type and who would be able to wear a liquid foundation without powdering down. Me, myself, there's no chance. Like it would just melt off. I'd get super, super shiny, super oily. It'd be transferring off everywhere. Your girl needs powder. But at the same time, like it's not terrible. I just feel like it's not as flattering on my skin as certainly some of the other formulas that I've tried recently. I'll zoom you in. So this is what my skin is looking like now. Like I said, like it's not awful. It's just also nothing really that wow. Like I feel like the texture's not too bad. It looks overall pretty smooth, reasonably perfected, but I'm not gonna say that I love this any more than a drugstore foundation, and it's certainly quite expensive. But yes, this is where we are at. I will start the wear test now. We'll do probably about 12 hours. Oh, I'm actually going out for dinner with Brandon's parents tonight, with the in-laws. So, we're certainly going to put this one through the ringer. You're going to be able to really see how long it lasts on my skin. But yes, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, guys, so we are back with our 6-hour check-in. This is the foundation on my skin after 6 hours of wear. I'll be straight up, I don't love it. Firstly, it is quite shiny. I feel like the lights maybe are drowning it out a little, but I've got a fair bit of oil through the T-zone. I also feel like we've got a little caking and a little separating of the foundation just around my mouth. Overall, it's looking quite textured. It looks like it's been on my skin for a lot longer than 6 hours. Like it's giving 12-hour wear. And obviously I've been wearing my sunnies, but truly it was probably, I had them on for maybe 15 minutes, and I've had a heap of the foundation actually transfer off the sides of my nose. I'm also missing foundation from the ends of my nose from like, I guess just, very lightly bumping it. So I'm going to say like for me on my oily skin, the formula so far is not really that long wearing. I just feel like it's like settling and like emphasizing texture. It doesn't look amazing. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of shocked because it's Mario. Like he's a living legend as far as makeup artistry goes, but perhaps this is just an oily skin thing. Perhaps this formula is maybe not targeted towards oily skin types. Hopefully you can see like there's a fair bit of shine on either sides of my nose, through my forehead there, fair bit of shine sort of all around here. And I'm just getting like a lot of texture on these areas of my face, on either sides of my mouth there. I'm not in love. I'm not completely in love. It's not the worst thing that I've ever worn, but it's also not the best. And you can sort of see like how much is missing, sort of all over my nose. I don't even think, like I've got to go out for dinner tonight, like I said, with Brandon's parents. How many hours is it until we do that? It's about 4 hours. We might just do a 10-hour wear test because honestly, I don't even think I want to wear this out. I think I want to like touch it up and redo it and stuff because I'm not loving how it's looking. All right, guys, final check-in now, and I just look exhausted. I've just put whitening eye drops in because my eyes are so bloodshot. I gotta say it hasn't gone that well. I am very, 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 very shiny, and I'm at the point of being so shiny where I just want to get my makeup off my face. Like, that feeling when you're just like, oh, get it off me. I just think this formula, if you are a really oily skin type or even like a medium oily skin type like me, maybe just go into this knowing it is a very glowy formula. So it is going to get really shiny. It is going to get really oily. Probably for dry skin types, if you are looking for something to really give that glass skin effect, probably dry skin types will love this. Oily skin types though, because we make our own glass effect. We do it ourselves. We do the work. It's too much. There's too much shine going on. And my oils are also causing the foundation to break down on the sides of my nose. Like it's starting to dissolve it. Obviously you saw earlier, I've got patches of foundation missing from my nose as well. I've also got some reasonable patches missing from the sides of my face here. So I'm going to say not oily skin safe and not transfer proof. It was so beautiful and glowing when I first applied it. Like I loved how it looked when I first applied it. And if you're doing your makeup, you know, maybe in the morning for a quick brunch with the girls and you want a glowy look, yes, you will probably love it. But then at the same time, I can't justify spending so much money on a formula that's only going to do like one narrow thing. I like formulas that I can wear all day and that I don't have to think about and that I don't need to worry about. So yeah, unfortunately, my first experience with Makeup by Mario's brand hasn't been great, but I'm very excited to try still some of the other products. I would just say this is a formula for dry to normal skin types. So, and I mean, as a celebrity makeup artist, they've probably all got perfect skin. They don't have pores. They don't have texture. They don't have oily skin. Like they've got probably everything like snatched and perfect and amazing. So a formula like that works on skin like that. On a skin type like mine, not so much. But I do still really hope that today's video was helpful for you guys. I hope that it answered some questions that maybe you've had about this particular formula. I would love to know your experiences with the foundation. Have you tried it? How did you go with it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did your face look like mine? I will quickly, for interest's sakes, because it would be rude not to, just touch this up. But for me personally, it just got way too oily, way too quick. I need my foundations to last longer and I need them to not, you know, transfer off. Taking out Nikkia Joy Cosmetics pressed powder. I mean, it looks pretty again when it's touched up, but just bear in mind, you're probably going to have to touch up really regularly. It just really depends on your skin type and, you know, what you want from a foundation. Oh, this powder smells so good. And it may even be a good one for mixing, but then again, I just can't justify spending that much money on a foundation that I then have to mix with something else to make work. Like, if he could come out with a matte formula or a long wear transfer proof satin matte formula, I'd be all over it. Like, I'd be all over it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts with it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And let me know what foundation you want to see reviewed next. I love you guys heaps. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a great day and I'll catch you in my next video.